Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. For those of you that's returning, welcome back. Sorry for the pause. And for the new subscribers, welcome. And for those that's tuning in, thank y'all. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to me. And hopefully that whatever I say can resonate with some of you people and you can get something from it and you can apply it to your life however you may choose. Um, so let's get into this. Um, I came to this YouTube thing to really just express myself and just to give out topics that is dear to my heart and to talk about them. And you know, people, people they either stick around or they leave because they don't like me to be serious because I'm a serious person. I do have a lot of joy in my heart, and I do laugh and I do crack up. Um, but you know, right now is not the time to do all that because these things that's going on out here is very serious. So if you see me making videos like this is the very reason. Uh, and you know, again, for people out here who don't like my delivery, don't like what I have to bring to the table as far as what I have to say, this video is not for you. But the people who, again, uh, want to come by and just be willing to listen, I appreciate you. Um, so I want to talk about the systemic issues of life, um, and the problem that's been going on for uh, for decades, man, for decades that that people think is normal, you know, and because I know what I know, I just I'm not one of the people to conform, you know, and the traditional sense is what people think that you should do in this life, and I have a big issue with it, and I'm always going to have an issue with it because it's not me, it's not me to do the things that people want me to do, you know. I do whatever it is to make me happy, and I'm gonna die trying, you know, because again, that's not the way I want to live my life. Um, so many people has really told me, that's really immersed into the job market, thinking that a particular job is going to save me from the issues out here, and that if I just take out the time to find one, then everything will be all right. And I have an issue with that because as I look around and I see people, in person, or I see people making these videos and they talk about how the job market is cooked. Um, you know, I listen to these videos, and again, they always say whatever you consume, you're gonna be one of the people who's going to fall by the wayside because you're consuming too much of this content. But I look at it like this: whatever I'm consuming is reality out here. It isn't a situation where I'm just making it up. This stuff is really happening. Now, granted, there are other people who's, from the looks of it, they look like they're well off. But there's a lot of people out here struggling in this world, and they don't have to struggle. They shouldn't have to live their lives like this. They shouldn't have to constantly hustle and bustle just to have a decent life and be able to live on this planet and be stress free and not worry about where the next dollar is going to come from. Because all this stuff out here is made for us, but nobody tends to see it because they're so immersed in the dollar bill. And it's just sad when I look at people, man. Like, when I go out, I go out and I meet people and I talk to them, and there's some nice, beautiful people out, you know. when I look at them, these people just don't have a clue of what's really happening because they think this is normal. And I just wish I could sit there and talk to them, and have a discussion with them and tell them, that this life is life take you to twists and turns that it shouldn't, you know. And me myself, I don't like to see it, you know. Um, I went into the dollar store yesterday, and I seen this old Filipino woman. She had to be like in her 70s, putting things on the shelf. I mean, doing this. And I just stood there before I went in there and got me a couple things. And I just watched it, man. And I literally wanted to go in tears because this is part of the systemic issues of life. You know, you got old people out here in this system continuously working to get that dollar, and they don't even have that many years left because how the system works is that they got them out here believing that everything is not enough, that you got to keep being out here doing what you're doing, and that's the only way to know how. And so just seeing her, I mean, real short lady. Um, she just was moving things on the shelf, and you could just tell the way she was moving, like she didn't need to be there. And it just really bugged me. It bugged me to see that. And she should be at home enjoying her life, the last little bit of years she got left, and to just um, just enjoy her life, man. And her life is in shambles because she's at somebody's damn workplace. And these damn companies don't give a damn about you because obviously it's business, right? So because it's business don't deal with the feelings and emotions, right? And we know all it. Well, most people know all this, right? And so they know this before they make the choice to just get into it, right? But that's the problem, is that they got all these businesses out here, presenting these things to people, and people just blindly just conform to them just to make their money. And so it's people out here who like, well, the constant thing they always say is that, we in tough times. You just gotta adapt. You just gotta go find a different job. If you gotta work 2 or 3 jobs just to be stable, then you gotta do that. But listen to what you just said. You gotta work 2 or 3 jobs just to be able to make ends meet, just to live, just to buy basic food. Uh, have clothing in your back, have shelter. You got to work these jobs just to feel like you get some type of normalcy. And you working 2 or 3 jobs is not normal. Hell, even working 1 job is not normal because you shouldn't be working at all. You know what I'm saying? You should be out here doing what it is that you do that makes you happy, right? And if that comes outside of doing the traditional 9 to 5 or working 10-hour days or working 12-hour days, you need to do that, And but most people don't do that because the job is the most comfortable thing ever, right? Just go there, work for that paycheck, and you should be all right, man. The rest will follow. When you sit here, you got to be able to take on another job. We'll have 1 job, which is already a problem, but take on another job just to try to compensate for the issues that you're having with the 1 income, right? You got to be able to work this other income to try to supplement that first income, just to be cool to do what you want to do. And people just constantly spinning in that circle, saying you got to adapt. These are the times, right? These are the times. Just adapt to it, adapt to it, like everybody else. Nobody else has a choice out here. Which in life you have choices, and I think people really get the misconception messed up with that is that they think that they don't have choices, and everyone out here has choices. And my choice is that I'm not going to conform to a system that I know for a fact is going to break me down and keep me as what they say, broke, stressed, blind and dumb, not thinking, not using my brain, you know, not not being able to function, on a day-to-day basis, right? Even though I think that when I get up every morning to do what I think is normal, some part of it is stressing me out. You know, some part stressing me out, some part is making me not feel comfortable that I have to go do the same shit every day. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, with the job market is that, you know, everything you're doing in life, it just feel like it comes at a cost. Everything has to do with the dollar bill, man. You know, and it just don't make no sense, man, to me. And people who don't see that, or who may not have an understanding about it, you need to have an understanding about it. You need to really sit back and look and be thinking like, damn, everything I do in life has to do with a price tag just to live. I mean, no one can see that. No one understands that. No one sees this as a big problem. I mean, somebody put in the comments, man, and tell me how this isn't a problem. You give me a big logical reason and tell me why that the way we're living is supposed to be the way we're supposed to be living. That this is not backwards. That this is supposed to be how it's supposed to be. You give me a logical reason and tell me. If you guys want to chime in, right? I want to be able to hear this. I want to be able to have this understanding because I I just don't get it. I don't get it. I keep saying don't get it, but I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody on this planet that should be living like this, and it hurts me every day that I see it, even including myself, because I shouldn't be wrestling with these thoughts in my head. I should be thinking that I'm guilty. I should be thinking that I'm not shit. I should be thinking that I'm not a bum. I should be thinking I'm not this. But these are the systemic things that they put on people, right? And every day that I go through this walk, I give myself more clarity to just know that I'm not labeled, regardless of what people are saying. And I have to be able to stay in that circle, in that type of peace, to have an understanding. It's hard, man, because, people have been programmed from the very beginning, man. From the time that they're born. You go through all this shit, and it stays locked in your brain, and you know no better. You know what I'm saying? And so you just do what you need to do. And so I was telling my cousin on the phone a couple of days ago, we were talking, and I was telling him that, people are very conditioned. They're very conditioned to believe one way and not want to go another way. And so because they're so conditioned, they would without you even explaining to them and try to let them hear you out, they would deflect. They would deflect, and then it's going to get to a point to where they're going to defend themselves and they're going to try to hurt you or try to kill you based on their conditioning. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that with this mind that we got up here, this mind, we can always adjust it. We can always adjust it. But people don't think they can adjust their mind because they be so immersed into being programmed into having this particular mindset that they don't want to do a cosmic shift to this particular mind, right? They rather stay back over here because it's pulling them, right? So they rather just like they're trying to stretch out to have understanding. They're like, nah, we're gonna bring you back in. And so, as I was telling him on the phone, that despite you being programmed, you got to be able to find a way to have that little bubble up here in the head, the little extra part that be willing to understand what's really happening, like that little bubble to say, yeah, I know this way, but why is it that this is this way, right? When you start being able to question yourself and wonder why things are the way they is, and to be intrigued, That's part of you opening up your mind. That's part of you really trying to find out what's really happening out here. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I believe there's a lot more people that should be doing it out here, but they don't train their brain to do that. Instead, they deflect. Instead, they rather fight to the death behind this stuff. You know, could you imagine being in a world that didn't have this out here? That didn't have the systemic issues that we have that's put in place for people out here. Could you imagine being in a different world than this world that we're in now? Most of you probably couldn't, because you know this world to be the way it is now. And for me, to be in a different world outside of what we're in, I would love it. I would love it to see what it brings, because I guarantee you it wouldn't be a lot of stressful people out here. It wouldn't be a lot of people out here getting into issues. It wouldn't be a lot of people trying to kill people out here. It wouldn't be people out here trying to compete with the next person to get this job or to be better than that person. It wouldn't be a lot of this shit going on out here, because it wouldn't be that type of lifestyle to where people have to compete. But misery loves company. And the systemic issues out here keeps people at each other's necks. Whether it be a job, whether it be relationships, whether it be just you in general, right? You start questioning everything, even yourself. You know, there's so many people out here. I mean, not so many people. Yeah, it is. But it's so many women out here that when you try to look for a decent relationship, and I'm not talking about me, I'm just talking about in general. When you try to look for a decent relationship, the woman always tell you first and foremost that you got to be making this amount of money in order to obtain my time. And if you don't got it, or if you make it below the means of what a man should be making out here, then we don't need to have no discussion. And so when I think about that, I'm like, man, I didn't grow up in a time like that, man. I didn't grow up in a time like that. And even when there was money out here, they still, I mean, everybody was living a little bit better than what they were, right? But they still, people had people in that rat race, so they were just basically making it seem like that things were great to where they want to keep conforming to the system, right? So nobody ever questioned it. But at their times, everybody got to know each other. They didn't give a damn about what you had in your pockets. They wanted to build something with you, whether it was a friendship, whether it was a relationship, whether it was community. They wanted to build something with you, and they hung out with each other every single day. And it's not like that today, you know. And it's getting worse and worse and worse, because when all this shit go away, or when we move into a utopian society, because I do believe we're going to move into a utopian society. Because it's not going to be a situation where people are always saying, just adapt, just adapt, just adapt. No, it's not going to be that, man. You know, if you don't see this shit that's out here happening right now, then you won't ever see it. But you know, once that go away, then how is it going to shift people's brain? Because it's not going to be about a dollar sign. It's not going to be about a dollar sign. It's going to be about, you know, people trying to figure out how they're going to be able to shift their brains. And you know what? For me, I would love to see how that works, because it'll take people out their comfort zone. You know, people wouldn't be able to know how to act because they don't see money no more. So because they don't see money no more, or even if the money is in a different type of form or currency or whatever it is, I don't know. But once you don't physically have the money in your hand, right, or even have an idea about some type of money, then you will see relationships be different, right? Or then people end up killing themselves because they ain't got no money. Because I truly believe that there's people out here that will actually do that if they don't have any money, because they're so immersed in it. They're so immersed in it, and they really believe that in their heart of hearts that they have to have this particular money. in order to be functional out here. They can't be a logical thinker, man. You know, I mean, really, money takes away people's thoughts about how stuff really truly is out here. If you really want to think about it, they don't. They're not free thinkers, man. You know, there's a lot of confused people out here, and I wish that I could be one of them to wake people up, man. You know, because that's what's gonna really take, man, for a lot of people to wake up in order for things to change out here, man. And as long as we got this divide out here, the world will continuously be the same the way it is. And I'm just glad that I'm not one of the people who close off my brain to uh, and follow blindly, deaf, dumb, and blind, follow into the system. I'm glad that I'm not like that because there's nothing wrong with me, and I'm not crazy. And there's people out here who will believe that I'm crazy, but I'm not. I just see it differently than what you guys do, man. And for the ones that see it like me, you understand what I mean. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad out here, man. So, all I can say to you guys is hold your head, man. Hold your head like I'm doing. Hold your head. And just continue to free think because it's not going to get no better out here. I know it. And people that think like me know it. Just continue to free think, man, and figure out ways to be free from this, you know, and to be able to function in this loud ass world. Because this world is loud as shit. And, you know, if we hear long enough, we'll be able to make it through. And so, yeah, you guys, I'll be back with another video later on. I appreciate you guys taking out the time to listen to me in this video. And with love, like, share, subscribe, cut on those push notifications so you won't ever miss a video when I drop it. Things are gonna get better, man. You know, as far as me, you know, free thinking, man. You know, I'm just gonna be able to I'm gonna go through this life the way I see it, and things are gonna be different for me. I have to be able to see it through, and I'm going to, regardless of what's being pinned against me, I'm gonna see it through. So, until next video, you guys stay safe. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day in your cities and states, and I'll holler at you on the next video. I'm out.